Hello and welcome, Popcorn Junkies. It's like all the most amazing bloody trailers are landing whilst we're not in the bloody country. Okay, so this is the second trailer for the second film, Dune Part 2. Anyone out there didn't like Dune Part 1? I was desperate for Nadia to watch it. It had that whole sort of sand dune-y kind of Middle Eastern thing. Obviously it's called Dune, the clue is in the title, so it's set on a planet, you know, covered in sand. We've got sandworms, you've got all that sort of stuff. Obviously it's based on the sci-fi epic classic by Frank Herbert, of which there were many other spin-offs, and in fact I think there is going to be there are going to be a number of spin-off series coming to HBO Max too. So this is the sequel. Obviously Timothée Chalamet is in there playing Paul Atreides. Zendaya's in there. I have to say, I mean, I know I caused a little bit of offence to Zendaya fans not being particularly on board with her Challenger trailer the other day, the new trailer by Guadagnino. But I'd be lying if I said Zendaya is the big pull for me in this film. What pulls me to Dune, and I think what pulls most people into Dune, is the extraordinary complexity, detail, the ornate sort of politics, economics, trade, all that kind of stuff that's kind of going on within the world and worlds of Dune. Power struggles, family struggles. It's all that sort of melodrama parked within space, which is always a joy. So, of course, we've got Timothée Chalamet in there. We had Oscar Isaacs, obviously playing his father in the first film. Christopher Walken is going to be in this one. Rebecca Ferguson is back, obviously, as Chalamet's mum. Florence Pugh is going to be in there as Princess Irulan. I mean, I must admit, I love the books, but I'm not particularly au fait with all of the names, nor all of the characters in them. Stellan Skarsgård, the brilliant globulous sort of villain, sort of hovering and floating and just huge body weight and these great suits which regurgitate and recycle body fluids into some way of existing. Dave Bautista's in there, Jason Momoa's in there, but most significantly, I think, in this one is Austin Butler, looking absolutely astonishing in the first trailer that we saw for this, in this sort of this white kind of almost Prometheus-like character. He's in there too, and of course Josh Brolin, my huge sort of man crush, he's in there too. So it's an astonishing cast. Javier Bardem. I mean, literally the cast just goes on and on and on. Obviously, I'm the generation that remembers David Lynch's version. I didn't think that David Lynch's Dune was all bad. I think it started well and then it just went a bit weird. Sting was always a weird choice in terms of the casting. But this for me is layered, it's complex, it's Star Wars and sci-fi stuff for grown-ups. It asks you to be embedded and invested. When you come out of the cinema, like I said before, you come out with sand in your teeth, which isn't particularly pleasant. But it means that you've been somewhere. You feel like you've been somewhere and you feel like the filmmakers have taken you on a journey. So I know a lot of people get excited about the sandworms. For me, it's about more than the sandworms, and sometimes I wish not so much was made of the sandworms. And sometimes I worry, maybe Frank Herbert didn't write about anything else other than sandworms, other than the battles between the various people. But anyway, let's check this out. The soundtrack's going to be good. I mean, I'm so excited about this, I can't tell you. So let's check out this. This is trailer 2 for Dune Part 2.
This world is beyond cruelty. You've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades. My family's been fighting them for centuries. They were massacred alongside my father.
Your father didn't believe in revenge. We believe in Fremen.
Let me fight beside you.
Reload!
He said that. I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
You're young, Pop.
Josh!
Do you believe in Paul?
There are signs.
Prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it. Because all my visions lead to horror.
Because you lose control.
Because I gain it. Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is still alive.
Ooh. Deal with this prophet. Show me who you are.
Ooh.
Your father. Was a weak man. Look who's back from the dead. Now do what must be done.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
I will love you as long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us!
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe. I am Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. Under the Messiah's under.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Brilliant sound effects there. And didn't lean too much on the sandworm. There was the suggestion of one in there. Austin Butler just looking sensational. Though Stellan Skarsgård in that sequence looking incredibly like a fully shaven Boris Johnson villain type. Looking great. I mean, all of the layers of power, struggle, control, civilizations trying to whack out other civilizations, you know, the economics of each planet and all that kind of stuff. What I love about all these stories is they're so big, they're writ large, they're in the universe, but really they're all about mum, they're all about dad, and they're all about son, aren't they? I could do, you know, I mean, this is just personal. I'm never really interested in the romance. So the Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet thing, I'm guessing that's thrown in there. That's red meat. For the younger viewers, perhaps, because this really didn't appeal to mainstream sci-fi people, the first film. This is much more sort of, as I say, ornate and complex and epic in scale, reach, and implications. I like all the stuff about kind of creating idols, creating gods, creating sort of religions and beliefs and societies and all that kind of stuff. And Christopher Walken, my God, look at him. He looks like the kind of guru. He looks like a lovely guru, but I'm guessing he's a villain, right? He's a baddie. But one person's baddie is another person's goodie. You know, one person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist. And that's what I like about this stuff. This gets complex. This gets complex. And I'm excited.